For decades, people have whispered about the possibilities of teleportation as well as time traveling that only sounded like a far-fetched theory.
It's turning into a circle! Whoa! Could you change colors?
Until evidence such as these started coming to light, this video is all about some of the documented cases of teleportation and time travel. A security camera on the 13th of October, 2013, in a parking lot in Singapore captured a puzzling scene that continues to intrigue viewers years later. The footage shows two men arriving at the lot when a woman suddenly appears directly in their path. There is no visible sign of her walking into the area, and she seems to materialize between frames. The unexpected figure remains visible for only a brief moment before disappearing just as abruptly. Those who have examined the clip remain divided over what occurred, with suggestions ranging from a camera anomaly or editing issue to something far more unusual. Despite numerous theories, no definitive explanation has ever been established. John Teeter. John Teeter was an anonymous internet user who appeared on online forums in 2000 and 2001, claiming to be a time traveler from the year 2036. He said he was a U.S. military soldier sent back in time to obtain an IBM 5100 computer, which he claimed would be needed to solve future technological problems. Teeter also shared predictions about civil unrest, war, and major political changes in the United States. However, none of his most notable forecasts came true as described. As a result, most researchers consider the story a mystery. Even so, his detailed posts, technical explanations, and time machine sketches turned him into one of the internet's most enduring mysteries.
He proceeded to post pictures of his time machine, which was installed in a 1967 Chevy Corvette. He also posted a picture of using the machine to bend a laser beam and of the machine's schematics.
Teleporting man. CCTV camera captured footage of a weird moment that occurred on a busy road in the Philippines. Recorded in 2015 at around 9 p.m., the clip shows what appears to be a brief flash or distortion near the roadside. Within seconds, a man seemingly emerges from the spot and continues walking as if nothing unusual had happened. The strange sequence lasts only a moment, leaving viewers divided over what they are seeing. Some believe it could be a camera glitch, an editing trick, or a perspective illusion, until the footage was proved to be genuine. Could it be that this man either was from the future or managed to make some futuristic remains a debate? Black suits. These trailing black-suited men were spotted in Bienville Street, New Orleans in 2016, where a man who was waiting for a train noticed two men dressed in black suits who were trailing him. Feeling uneasy, he began paying closer attention to the pair, whose appearance stood out because of their old-fashioned black suits, ties, and hats. Believing their clothing resembled styles from decades earlier, he became convinced they were not from the current timeline, rather were of an older one. While waiting at the station, he used his iPhone to record the two men. The footage was later submitted to the radio show Third Phase of Moon, who uploaded the video online, fueling speculation about the legendary Men in Black. Mysterious hooded man. A bizarre CCTV recording has sparked speculation among viewers who believe it may show something far beyond ordinary explanation. The footage captures a hooded individual pacing through a backyard before suddenly stopping and interacting with something that cannot be clearly seen on camera. Seconds later, a series of bright flashes erupts from the area, illuminating the scene despite the daylight. As the flashes fade, the figure appears to disappear from view, leaving no obvious clue as to where they went. While skeptics suggest camera effects or video manipulation, others point to the strange sequence as one of the more puzzling clips ever linked to theories of time travel. Hooded teleporter. Homeowner reviewing security camera footage from the early hours of the 20th of February 2020 noticed a man walking nervously in front of the house around 3:30 a.m., looking back repeatedly as though aware he was being watched. When the homeowner switched to another camera angle, the man was simply there, having appeared beside a fence with no footage of him approaching from any direction. The camera had not cut out. No glitch was detected. Whatever brought that man to that spot at 3:30 a.m. did not involve walking there from anywhere the cameras could see. Mysterious vanishing. A security camera from a residence in Cape Town, South Africa, on the night of 5th May 2023, captured a puzzling incident that quickly drew attention online. The footage shows a man standing in his backyard, seemingly unaware that he is being recorded. After briefly looking around the area, he suddenly disappears from view in a matter of seconds. There is no visible sign of him running away, stepping behind an object, or leaving through a gate. The unusual nature of the clip has led to numerous theories, ranging from clever video editing to more extraordinary possibilities. Despite widespread speculation, no clear explanation has emerged, leaving the footage as an enduring mystery for viewers to debate. Man from 2055. Since the 20th of January, 2026, a man claiming to be trapped in France in the year 2055 has been posting footage showing a country still physically intact, but completely devoid of people. Empty streets, silent roads, functioning vending machines, stores with fully stocked shelves displaying PlayStation 7 games, a console that does not exist in the present. One vending machine contains a single bottle with a clearly visible expiration date of April 2055, a product not yet released. He filmed the Mona Lisa up close at an empty Louvre with no guards, no tourists, and no sound. Whether a genuine temporal displacement or an elaborate construction, the details he presents have proven deeply difficult to dismiss. Teleporting little one. During a live BBC broadcast on the 13th of December 2018, a moment was caught on camera that went beyond anything the reporters on the ground were covering. This little one appeared out of nowhere on live television, materializing in the frame without any visible approach from any direction. The incident was captured during the live feed and reviewed by those who watched it, with no technical explanation emerging for how this little one appeared on screen in that manner during a broadcast seen by a large audience. The moment was brief, and the little was simply there, where there had been no one a fraction of a second before. Unknown infiltrator. Leaked security camera footage shared on the 26th of February, 2025, showed an unknown figure entering a private firm, without triggering any alarms and without being noticed by any security personnel on duty. The figure moved through the space without detection until the footage was reviewed afterward, at which point the manner of its entry and movement through the building raised a question that security protocols alone could not answer. Whether what the camera had recorded was a ghost operating outside the range of physical sensors, or a time traveler equipped with technology advanced enough to render conventional security measures entirely ineffective. Monterey Portal. Tourists visiting Paseo Santa Lucia in Monterrey, Mexico, witnessed something that was initially interpreted as an interesting light display before its nature became harder to rationalize. What appeared in front of the gathered crowd felt increasingly like a portal opening in the open air, an event that was captured on camera and shared afterward. The footage has circulated among those who study anomalous events, with viewers noting that the quality and character of what appeared at that location bore the visual signatures most associated with dimensional breach events, rather than any theatrical or atmospheric effect produced for public entertainment. Midnight vanish. A street security camera in Beijing captured something at midnight on the 22nd of March, 2023, that has been widely shared without a satisfying answer being provided. A person walking in the surveillance footage simply disappeared mid-stride, there one frame and gone the next, without any cut in the recording or any visible means of exit available in the space they occupied. The footage was shared online with the question of where the person went directed at anyone who might have an explanation. None that accounts for the footage on its own terms has been produced since. Road warp. A recording of a car dashcam captured the moment a human figure appeared suddenly in the middle of a road, approaching from a direction, and was only partially visible in the frame one moment before being fully present the next. The speed and completeness of the appearance left no space for a conventional explanation based on someone running into the frame from an unseen angle. The dashcam captured what appeared to be an individual warping directly into the road ahead of the vehicle, and the footage has circulated as one of the more straightforward visual examples of what a dysfunctional teleportation event might look like if such a thing were possible. Ohio portal visitor. Near Ohio on the 26th of March 2025, something was captured on camera that began as what appeared to be a portal before revealing itself to be something more, an entity that started moving after it had appeared.
That's wrong.
You're very interesting.
Whether an interdimensional portal, a supernatural entity, or a life form from another dimension that had briefly entered this one, the footage captured a form that shifted between those possibilities in real time, without settling into any of them. The clip has circulated widely among those who track anomalous events, and the movement of the object displayed after its initial appearance is the element that has proven most difficult to explain away.
Whoa! Could you change colors?
Sudden appearance. Recorded in the dead of night at precisely 2:13 a.m., this chilling CCTV footage has left many baffled after a strange figure appeared behind an unsuspecting person for only a split second before disappearing from view. The moment is so brief that many viewers miss it on their first watch, yet frame-by-frame analysis reveals an unexplained shape standing where nothing had been moments earlier. No clear source for the anomaly has ever been identified, leading to a range of theories from camera glitches to something far more mysterious. Although the appearance lasts only an instant, the footage continues to spark debate among those fascinated by unexplained events. Montana portal. A property owner working around a remote cabin in the Montana countryside came across something he had no framework to understand. What appeared to be an actual portal that had opened, showing what looked like a beach and visible sunlight on the other side. He decided to enter it. The location he found himself in afterward did not appear on his phone. Leaving him in a place that had no coordinates within the mapping systems available to him. Whether he had stepped through into another location on the same planet or somewhere further removed than that, the absence of any digital record of where he stood made the question impossible to answer from the outside. 1,928 cell phones. Back on the 27th of February, 2026, this clip was shared on Twitter and started getting viral after viewers noticed something unusual in archival footage, reportedly filmed in 1928 and 1938. Several individuals appeared to be holding objects near their ears in a manner that many compared to modern mobile phones. The discovery quickly fueled debate online, with some suggesting the footage could be evidence of time travelers carrying advanced technology into the past. Others argue that the objects were likely ordinary items misidentified because of the footage's age and limited image quality. Despite countless analyses and discussions, the clips have never received a universally accepted explanation, leaving the mystery open to interpretation. Another time traveler? Footage from a 1995 Mike Tyson fight showed something at ringside that sent the internet into a spiral of theories. A man appearing to film the bout with what looked unmistakably like a smartphone, a device that did not exist in 1995. The clip circulated widely with headlines suggesting time travel as the only explanation for how a man at a mid-90s boxing match came to be holding something that would not be invented for another decade. Whether a trick of the footage, an early prototype of something, or something that genuinely requires a different kind of explanation, the man at ringside with the device has remained one of the more discussed anomalies in the time travel evidence conversation. Road-appearing man. Trucker passing through a highway in Wisconsin late at night on the 15th of March, 2020, captured the moment a man appeared in the road ahead of the vehicle from absolutely nowhere, with no approach from any side, simply present in the middle of the highway where there had been nothing a moment before. The suddenness and completeness of the appearance, with no visible origin point, made the footage one of the more directly documented examples of what an unassisted teleportation event would look like, captured on a vehicle camera at highway speed in the middle of the night. Shady Man. A doorbell camera at a residence in Ottawa, Canada, captured a man appearing to walk toward the property before disappearing, not turning a corner, not going out of frame, simply ceasing to be visible. The owner shared the footage online after the same thing happened on multiple consecutive days, hoping to find an explanation for what the camera was recording each time. No explanation that accounted for the consistent pattern of appearance and disappearance at the same location across several days was offered by anyone who reviewed the clip, and the footage remains one of the more quietly persistent examples of a figure that comes and goes without any traceable means of doing either. Aerial portal opening. In the dark skies of San Diego, California, a local noticed something very bizarre on 30th June 2024. According to the account, a glowing object appeared high above the city and seemed to project a focused beam of light downward. The witness believed this beam was interacting with the sky itself, creating the impression of a temporary opening or distortion in the atmosphere. The unusual visual quickly drew attention after the footage was shared online, with viewers debating what could be seen in the recording. Some suggested atmospheric or camera-related effects, while others speculated about more extraordinary explanations. Despite discussion and analysis, no confirmed explanation for the event has been established. Disappearing into fence. A store camera facing toward an alley captured something at midday that has been described as convincing evidence of teleportation. An unknown entity noticed an elderly woman approaching and reacted by disappearing directly into the fence rather than moving away from her through any ordinary means. The speed and nature of the disappearance straight into a solid fence rather than through any gap or exit point left those who reviewed the footage with limited alternatives to the conclusion that whatever was in that alley had a method of moving through solid matter or exiting the visible world that requires a category beyond ordinary concealment or evasion. Fire portal. A small fire that someone was sitting beside began behaving unexpectedly, spiraling and shifting as though something was about to emerge from it, or it was in the process of forming into something other than ordinary flames. No explanation was available at the time of the recording, and theorists who reviewed the footage later proposed that what appeared within the fire was the opening of a portal, one that went entirely unrecognized by those present, because nobody would have thought to look for a dimensional entrance inside the flames of a small ground fire. The suggestion that the opportunity was missed by inches has stayed with those who watched it.
It's a teleportation to get to other planets, right here, right now in Sydney.
Have any of you seen this mysterious portal that opened in Sydney, Australia? It appeared on the 28th of May last year. Its edges were glowing blue, and the air around it seemed to buzz with unstable energy, which is why no one dared to walk closer. The strange opening only lasted a few minutes, but some people immediately began saying it could have been the result of a government experiment to create doorways in space-time, while others believed an underwater generator might have caused the strange energy in that area. So which explanation sounds more logical to you?
Right here, right now in Sydney.
Fiery ring? Now what the heck is that? On the 28th of January last year, a homeowner from Salem, Oregon shared this strange video of a glowing ring that had appeared in his backyard. It kept spinning and looked fiery, which is why he stayed at a safe distance. The real mystery is how it appeared there in the first place, because that is the one detail the homeowner left out. For all we know, he could have been conducting mysterious scientific experiments, and somehow created this glowing, portal-like effect. Massive void.
What the?
On the 11th of September, 2025, people in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a massive portal up on their street. Its center was a deep black void, surrounded by a thick ring of white smoke that kept swirling around it. The scariest part was how it kept growing larger by the minute, as if a gateway to another dark world was opening wide enough to swallow the entire street. Honestly, I might have taken a quick peek through it, but it's completely understandable why no one wanted to risk that and kept their distance. The portal faded away after 20 minutes.
What is hiding behind that cloud?
Shocking portal. This moment, caught on camera, captured a portal opening right in front of a woman. It began as a small flash of light that expanded really fast. The woman was confused, but not as confused as you're going to be considering what happened next. A burst of energy shot out and pulled her inside. It happened in a flash, and the portal closed immediately after that. The location, time, and date are all unknown. Audio rift. You need to pay very close attention to this video. In the beginning, a man was using an online tone generator that could set specific audio frequencies. When he combined two audios at 528 Hz, it created a fracture in the air.
And already you can see a much more stable fracture.
The fracture grew bigger and brighter until it formed a circular portal showing Sedona, Arizona on the other side. The video ended there. I never thought a portal could be created with sound, but after seeing this video, we really need to try it ourselves. Confusing disappearance. Watch this clip and let me know your theories in the comments. This driver in New York was recording a man on the road for his unique hair color, but ended up capturing way more than that. He walked in front of the car, but then he simply disappeared. The camera did not capture him walking to the other side, as it should have. So, did the cameraman accidentally record a real-life teleportation, or did something else happen here? What do you think? Comment below. One-way portal. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this one. A bright, mysterious portal opened in the middle of a parking lot in Jacksonville, Florida. It began as a thin band of light, then expanded into a huge, glowing circle with bright edges. The people were so shocked that one man slowly walked closer and stepped right through it. Little did he know, it was a one-way trip because the portal vanished completely. The video doesn't show him coming back, and we don't know if he ever did. Mirror World.
And there's this huge warehouse, grocery store, or something down there.
Here's one of the most confusing videos on the internet. It starts with a woman explaining that she had set up two mirrors in her room while cleaning, and their placement caused something shocking. The reflection of one mirror seemed to show another world outside, and she could even put her hand through it, as if it were a portal. Then she dared to jump through it and entered a warehouse that looked more dreamlike than real.
What is this place?
When she tried reaching the other end, her camera was suddenly transported back to her room. The video doesn't show what happened to her.
Oh shit.
Portal generator. An anonymous man had created a small wormhole generator at home. This ring-shaped device with copper coils created enough energy to form that glowing core at its center, which helped him create this portal. It was a glowing oval portal that looked quite stable too, but it wasn't big enough to let him walk through, since he would need a much bigger generator to make that possible, and he hasn't given any updates on that yet.
A much more stable fracture.
Ghost Man. Everyone on the internet believes this video recorded a ghost man in Japan, and you're about to see why. On the 30th of January, 2016, a man approached the clothes store and walked right through its locked doors as if they didn't exist. Moments later, he stepped back out through the door the same way he'd entered. Even the homeless man seemed confused when he walked out. Viewers even pointed out the way the camera had glitched, which made this scene even more mysterious. Spiraling gateway. In 2017, people inside a mall in Chengdu, China got a terrifying surprise on an ordinary day. A light appeared and began moving in quick circles until it formed a glowing portal. Its bright golden light spread outward, and the circle kept growing larger. For a moment, it looked like it might swallow the entire mall. Then, just as suddenly, it lost all energy, leaving behind a spiraling light, and after a few seconds, that disappeared too. Mirror portal. A man in Yorkshire, UK, after hearing rumors about the existence of mirror portals, decided to test the theory himself. He purchased one specialized mirror alongside two regular ones and arranged them in a specific sequence with an Ouija board and a doll. Using a flashlight, he created what appeared to be multiple layered dimensions within the alignment before the reflecting background shifted to something entirely different from the physical space around him, showing an environment that simply was not there.
Perfect. Perfectly lined up.
For those who have debated whether mirror portals are real, the footage suggested that the answer may depend entirely on how the mirrors are arranged.
Come on, yes, there we go. Yeah guys, so look, sofa's back on there.
Invisible doorway. This video has been all over the internet, but nobody knows its actual source. While a woman was giving a live interview, something in the background stole all the attention. A man seemed to walk out of an invisible portal. If you look closely, you'll notice the air had warped the moment he stepped into view. The people nearby didn't notice because it happened so smoothly, but viewers definitely didn't miss it. Vanishing boy. A homeowner in Lubbock, Texas had to check her home security camera after receiving a motion alert. The footage showed a young boy cycling outside her house, which was already strange because of how late it was. But that was just the beginning for something far creepier. As the boy was riding down the street, he slowly faded out of view, almost like a ghost disappearing into thin air. However, he wasn't a ghost because he cast a shadow on the wall, which meant he must have teleported. Strange light formation. Some fishermen had gone off the coast of Siesta Key Beach in Florida when they noticed this mysterious formation on the horizon. It was made of white lines layered on top of each other, and it kept changing formation too. They thought it looked like a portal through which otherworldly beings like aliens could appear at any moment, but as they kept recording, nothing came through, and the formation faded away within a few minutes. Shocking teleportation. This CCTV in Japan recorded one of the most shocking moments. It started out as a completely ordinary day, but then a man mysteriously appeared from behind a signboard. It wasn't an illusion, because the camera did not capture him walking into the frame. It clearly looked like he had teleported. Although no one around him seemed to notice his unexpected appearance in broad daylight, the CCTV recorded it all. Strange sky sighting. During a storm in Glasgow, Montana, a strange light formed in the sky just below the dark clouds. It had a glowing red center, and plumes of smoke moved around it in an odd way, as if the red center was creating its own energy. Although weather experts dismissed it as a strange weather phenomenon, many people thought it looked like a portal trying to open, especially after another person recorded this in Nashville at the same time, which is nearly 1,500 miles away from Montana. Live teleportation. On the 3rd of October, 2023, a really confusing moment was captured on live TV. Look behind this man giving an interview. As a woman was pushing her luggage, the one right behind her seemed to vanish. Did you see it? Now, either she teleported out of there, or this was an example of perfect timing. She could have moved perfectly in sync with the other woman ahead of her, making it look like she disappeared. Sky circle. While flying to Caracas in Venezuela, a passenger recorded the most shocking things ever seen in the sky. There was a strange white circle in midair. and it clearly did not look like a cloud formation because it was too precise and there weren't any other clouds around it. The circle looked like someone had ripped a hole in the air. It made everyone believe it was a portal that could lead them to another dimension or let them travel between different locations on Earth. But the pilot did not test that theory. Dog teleportation. In Chile, a group of men were recording a race on the highway. As cars sped by, a dog suddenly appeared in the middle of the road. It's clear it hadn't been there before, and that's why the men were so confused. They quickly ran toward the dog to check if it was okay, and to their surprise, it was completely fine, like nothing strange had just happened. How is this possible? Mysterious disappearance. This CCTV footage shows two friends taking a nighttime stroll in an open area, but their hangout turned terrifying really fast. One of the friends seemed to get pulled up so fast, he looked like a blur. It was just like an alien abduction or a creepy teleportation. The other friends panicked and ran, and not soon after, the missing friend reappeared in the exact same spot. Strange distortion. This strange CCTV footage shows what looks like a woman walking down the street. However, her head and legs kept glitching out of view. She was distorting so much that it could mean she was not fully in our dimension physically. I believe she must have been a multi-dimensional traveler, but if you have any other explanation, do let me know in the comments below. Car's disappearance. What you're about to see is going to mess with your mind. The video shows a direct view of the road leading to the Nevada National Security Site, and if you look closely, the vehicles seem to disappear as they pass behind the sand barrels in the distance. What's even stranger is that we don't see them take a turn, and there doesn't seem to be another road leading the other way. Could that mean they were passing through a rift in space to somewhere else? Comment below. Farmyard portal.
What is that? I don't know.
This is the last thing one might expect to see on a farm. A farmer went out to check his crops, but noticed strange orange flashes of light. It wasn't fire, because the light formed precise circles and flickered in and out of sight incredibly fast. No natural phenomenon looks like that. The glow seemed to be coming from inside the crops, and looked like a gateway to the hot underworld was trying to open right there. The flashes stopped after a few minutes. First crop circles, and now this.
Watch.
Blinked away. This CCTV footage from Shanghai, China, shows a man in the middle of the street. After a few moments, he suddenly blinked out of sight. It happened so fast that it's easy to miss. The security guard monitoring the live cameras was so shocked that he showed it to other staff, but none of them could explain what happened. They thought maybe the camera skipped a frame, but I'm not sure about that. If you think this is creepy, just wait until you see the next one. Terrifying disappearance.
Você viu que ele apareceu ali? Ele é baixinho.
Some paranormal investigators were exploring an abandoned home in Hamilton, Canada, where the homeowners had disappeared mysteriously. While exploring, something terrifying happened. One of the team members in the background seemed to vanish as a strange light took over him. This wasn't some kind of planned teleportation. It looked like something supernatural had caused him to vanish. The video cut off there, but the team later explained he reappeared and was fine. But viewers are confused if it was staged or not. Airport glitch. This video shows people going about their day at an airport. Everything seemed normal at first, but then suddenly, several people vanished without a trace. This happened in several parts of the airport. Even their belongings stayed behind. Everyone around immediately panicked. This isn't something you see every day! At first, I thought it might have been staged, but after reading the witness accounts saying they actually saw them disappear, I changed my mind. Could this be a strange glitch in the Matrix that temporarily transported these people somewhere else? Sudden disappearance. Unlike the other videos, I have my doubts about this one. On the 23rd of May, 2015, a person in Northampton, England, was loading boxes out of the car when this biker appeared in the background. But it was no ordinary biker. Just as the person bent down to pick something up, at that exact moment, the bike blinked out of sight. But that flash of light makes me think this might have been edited. What about you? Cycling man. In Penza, Russia, while these men were recording the musician, something really strange happened right behind one of them. Watch carefully. You don't want to miss it. An old man riding a bicycle appeared from behind him. The strangest part is that we don't really see him cycle towards him or enter the frame at all. It's like he had materialized mysteriously. Fading deer. A homeowner in Columbus, Ohio, couldn't understand what his home security camera had recorded late at night. There was a deer, but as it moved toward the tree, it seemed to fade away. What made it confusing was that it didn't reappear on the other side of the tree, which is why the homeowner thought it had vanished. But people online say it could be due to poor camera pixelation, but even that doesn't cause things to just vanish on camera. This event might have revealed a secret experiment. A man in China began recording after hearing noises on the street near the Guangzhou CTF Finance Center in Zhujiang Newtown. People were watching a glowing circle that had appeared mid-air. Only one person dared to get close and touch it, and that changed everything. It immediately transformed into a massive portal with powerful blue energy. The portal looked highly unstable, like it could close at any moment, and the man slowly passed his arm through it. But the video suddenly cut off, and I couldn't find any more clips or news of the incident. It was as if the Chinese government removed all evidence, especially since there were rumors about them experimenting with time-space to create portals. Speeding to disappear. Footage from an unknown camera shows what appears to be a man walking normally before he begins to accelerate, speeding up deliberately and progressively, as though reaching the velocity required to trigger a transition. At the point where his speed reaches its peak, he disappears from the frame entirely. Whether this represents time travel, teleportation, or a man running out of shot unusually, the deliberate quality of the acceleration and the timing of the disappearance at its peak have made the clip one of the more discussed pieces of footage in the category of potentially documented teleportation events. Library teleportation. An old clip from a library in St. Petersburg, Russia, shows the moment a man who had apparently been attempting to steal a book found himself surrounded by a gathering crowd and facing the kind of confrontation that tends to end in apprehension. Instead of being caught, he disappeared. The crowd's reaction confirmed that the disappearance was witnessed directly and not simply a camera artifact or blind spot. People present saw him vanish. The circumstances of the moment, surrounded, no visible exit, immediate disappearance, have led most who have since reviewed the footage to conclude that whatever the man did to leave that library, it was not through any door. Teleporting appearance. A security camera at an apartment complex in Philadelphia captured what appeared outside the front door of a residence, a figure with a visible shadow materializing out of thin air. The presence of a shadow is significant in this context, as it rules out a paranormal or ghostly explanation and points instead toward a physical person who arrived by means other than walking up to the door. Whether a teleportation device, an advanced cloaking system switched off at the wrong moment, or something else, what the camera captured was a person casting a real shadow appearing in a space where no one had been a fraction of a second before. Unexpected handoff. A driver in Myanmar who had been filming a man he found suspicious watching him remove his jacket in an unusual and random way captured what followed next without anticipating it. The man handed his jacket to another person who appeared out of thin air beside him. Both men then walked off together casually, as though the arrival of a second person from nowhere was entirely unremarkable. The driver's footage captured the handoff and the departure. And the casual manner in which both men treated the appearance of one of them from nothing has contributed to the clip being shared as one of the more understated examples of apparent teleportation on record. Michigan alien portal. On the 18th of August, 2023, an interior security camera at a Michigan shop being prepared before opening captured something that had no business inside. A tiny figure bearing close resemblance to an alien appeared through the glass as though a portal had opened at that spot present briefly before disappearing in a manner consistent with teleportation rather than any ordinary exit. The clip has circulated widely, with viewers noting that the scale, appearance, and manner of arrival and departure placed the figure entirely outside any category of ordinary intruder. A security camera would typically capture in a closed commercial space. Time-traveling Good Samaritan. CCTV footage from Turkey shows a man walking along a street being tapped on the shoulder from behind, turning to find no one there, yet clearly stopped by the contact. Moments after being halted, what happened next was he was able to dodge an opening steel door of a vehicle that was passing, which otherwise would have hit him had he continued. Whatever tapped that man on the shoulder had no visible physical form, yet stopped him effectively. Whether a guardian spirit, a time traveler intervening at a critical moment, or something else, the outcome was the same. He was warned in time, and he survived what was coming. LA vehicle vanish. On the 23rd of May, 2022, a young woman who had just parked her vehicle in Los Angeles began noticing something very strange playing out around her. From a specific angle, her vehicle would simply disappear entirely present from other angles.
Down, okay? So this is up, So if I just kept going and took a little turn over there, I'm sprinting now, okay? Watch, because look what happens. Look what happens. Where are the cars?
But gone when viewed from a particular direction. While she tried to make sense of what was happening, theorists who later reviewed the footage proposed that she had inadvertently parked at or near a time-slip point, a location where dimensional boundaries are thin enough that objects within it become briefly invisible from certain perspectives, or where the space itself briefly belongs to somewhere else. Flash hero. A clip circulating online shows a man responding to an emergency with a speed that has divided viewers sharply between two explanations. Most who watched it initially assumed they were seeing a case of superhuman physical speed, a real-world Flash situation. The more widely accepted interpretation among those who analyzed the footage carefully, however, was that the speed on display was not running at all but teleportation. The man covering a distance in a time frame consistent with instantaneous travel rather than movement. Whether he arrived to help by running faster than anyone reasonably should, or by arriving from somewhere else entirely, he was there before anyone else, and the situation was resolved. Abducted delivery man? The homeowner noticed that a package had arrived and had been signed for, yet the delivery truck was still parked outside, and he himself had not signed for anything. Reviewing his security camera footage raised a question he was not prepared for. The footage showed the delivery man arriving and then vanishing without returning to his truck, without walking away, and without any visible means of departure. Whether the subject of a teleportation event, an abduction, or something the camera alone cannot explain, he was gone, and his truck remained parked out front.
I know a lot of you are going to find my story extremely hard to believe, and I don't blame you.
2018 was a wild time, but it got wilder when a man claimed he had been part of a covert operation that transported him to the year 6000. There, he described a world of breathtaking technological advancements and sprawling cities that defied comprehension. To prove his journey, he revealed a blurry photo of a futuristic skyline, saying it was all his equipment could capture.
Now, you may notice that the actual picture itself is a little distorted. That is because in the time travel process, pictures tend to get distorted.
According to him, time travel had become routine by that era, with humanity having solved the mysteries of the universe. He predicted that we'd unlock time travel technology before the end of the decade. Sometimes, the future feels closer than we think.
I can assure you that what I am saying is true. It is not of my intention to deceive anybody. I simply want to spread a message about the future of humanity.
Strange confession.
Hello everyone, my name is George. I cannot say where I am now or what country I am in, because I do not want to be in the spotlight.
In 2018, a man claiming to be from the year 2030 shocked the world with a strange confession. According to him, future humans will have brain-implanted chips that enhance both intelligence and connectivity.
The chip was placed in the back of the human head, creating special signals to communicate with the brain.
To back up his wild claims, he presented a golden chip, allegedly identical to the ones used in the future. His confession sparked a frenzy online, with some calling him a hoaxer, while others drew parallels to emerging technologies like Elon Musk's Neuralink, which seems to push humanity toward this very future.
The chip is very unique. It does not need to be electrically charged at all. It works simply with the heat of the human body. It was a complete revolution, never seen before.
The mystery of the golden chip remains unresolved, but people are excited that if he's right, the future may be far more advanced and promising than we ever imagined.
After the discovery of this technology, millions of people rushed for that chip, and in few months, about 60 to 70% of humanity had it.
America's Time Machine.
Design science equations do allow for time travel, and they're blueprints, different kinds of time travel designs that are compatible.
In 1995, Mike Markham from Missouri embarked on a wild project. He began building a time machine in his house. Using a modified CD laser and an electrical Jacob's ladder, he created a strange heat vortex that surprisingly made objects disappear and reappear. This was just the beginning. By 1997, Markham had built a larger version of the machine, but he needed more power. So, he tapped into a local grid station, a decision that led to disaster. When the police arrived, Markham was gone, leaving only confusion and mystery behind. Strangely, a body found on a Florida beach from the 1930s was linked to his disappearance. Did Markham actually travel back in time, or was his experiment doomed from the start? The mystery of what really happened remains unsolved, leaving us to wonder how far the pursuit of discovery can go. Shocking future warning.
We are Orin, a collective conscious and cyborg sent by a higher civilization to warn humans of the incoming apocalypse.
In 2020, a man named Orin sent shockwaves through the internet when he claimed to be a cyborg sent back from the year 2050. He described himself as part human, part machine, equipped with a communication chip implanted directly into his body.
He just has access to more information through the chip, information that is given to him by the higher civilization.
Orin's story didn't stop there. He spoke of witnessing an AI-driven apocalypse, a future where humanity was on the brink of extinction. Sent by higher powers, Orin warned about an impending threat from a shadowy organization he called the Corporation. Now, understandably, this was dismissed by some people as a fraud, but his detailed warnings and eerie demeanor left some unsettled.
We went to the future, to 2050, and we saw the apocalypse. We saw the rivers that were poisoned through to mercury. We saw artificial intelligence.
I come from 3000.
Are you an actual time traveler who has visited the future?
Yes, I am.
All right.
In 2018, William Tyler claimed to have visited the distant years 3000 and 8973. He spoke of meeting advanced beings in A973 with telepathic abilities and witnessing a polluted, dystopian Earth in 3000. His prediction of public time travel by 2028 and AI dominance feels chillingly close to modern developments. Despite a lie detector test, doubts persist. Tyler's vivid descriptions blur the line between futuristic imagination and an ominous warning of what lies ahead.
Is the Mandela effect real?
Yes. The Mandela effect is very real.
Man from 2133.
My name is Victor Nikolaev, and I was born in the year 2133.
Victor Nikolaev claims he's from the year 2133, and his story is nothing short of wild. In a viral video, he says time travel was invented in 2050, and he's been sent back to fix the past. The future he describes isn't all flying cars and utopias. Instead, he warns of plastic storms, mass surveillance, and people being controlled before they act. His strangest claim is that Donald Trump is attempting to become Canada's Prime Minister. While skeptics believe it's an elaborate hoax, Victor's detailed accounts have left many questioning what the future holds. It's a chilling glimpse into what could lie ahead.
We must use special machines to remove plastic from our food after the storms. I know that it might sound weird and be hard to believe.
Cryptocurrency happens.
The world will change drastically very soon.
Carlos from Alicante, Spain, stunned the world when he claimed to be a time traveler from 2014. He sold his future cryptocurrency fortune in 2016 and lived lavishly, predicting that by 2028, crypto would dominate global finance through coin salary. Carlos described a future where QR codes replaced traditional IDs by 2029. His claims of a digital currency revolution hinted at uncanny foresight, or perhaps insider knowledge. His story has done one thing, though. It left behind certain ideas like whether or not time travel is a real possibility. Only time will tell if his predictions come true.
Everyone has a QR code on their hands, which contains all the information.
Girl from future.
I received a job offer from an organization that was engaged in various experiments related to physical and psychological tests on humans. The company is called LabGeo.
A mysterious girl came from the future and surfaced online with a mind-bending claim. This happened in 2022, and although she was born in 2006, she came from the future. She revealed that in 2028, she worked for a medical research firm, LabGeo, until a failed experiment forced her to flee using a prototype time machine. Her most shocking evidence? She shared detailed photos of future newspapers from 2027, featuring headlines about Mars colonization and breakthroughs in advanced AI technology. The internet went wild. Some dismissed her as a fraud, while others couldn't ignore the eerie specificity of her claims.
Future newspapers are published stably. They are more popular than now because the newspaper has some retro pleasure in it.
Actual time machine. In 2009, a video surfaced that seemed to show an actual time machine. The device was round, glowing with lights, and emitting a high-pitched frequency. As the camera zoomed in on the machine, something even stranger happened. A swirling, portal-like phenomenon began to form, and the footage abruptly cut out, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. Some speculated that the camera operator was sucked into another dimension, while skeptics quickly dismissed it as a hoax or elaborate trickery. Despite extensive expert analysis, no one has been able to definitively debunk the footage. Could this be actual proof of time travel technology, or just a clever sci-fi style fabrication? The video continues to fuel speculation about the limits of human innovation and the mysteries that lie beyond our understanding of time. The truth remains elusive, but the questions linger. Original iPad? In a 1999 video from a political rally, a startling anomaly caught viewers' attention. A person appeared to be holding an object eerily similar to an iPad, but this device wouldn't be invented until 2010, or is that the case? The footage sparked a frenzy online, with many seeing it as possible proof of time travel. Critics dismissed it as a small book or another mundane object, but the clarity of the image left room for speculation. There was even an allegation that the device existed, and Steve Jobs might have stolen it, or got inspired, depending on who you ask. Greta Thunberg. People are familiar with her, and some like her, while others don't. But she caught everyone's attention when another discovery put her into a different kind of spotlight. A photograph from 1898 showed a young girl working in a mine who looked strikingly similar to Greta. Theories spread like wildfire. Was Greta a time traveler sent to warn humanity of its environmental destruction? While many dismissed it as an uncanny resemblance, others believed it could be proof of time travel. Whether it's coincidence or something more extraordinary, the eerie likeness has cemented itself as one of the internet's most intriguing mysteries. Time encounter. Alan Nordquist from Sweden in 2006 experienced an encounter straight out of a science fiction thriller. While dealing with a flooded kitchen, he reached under his sink, only to find himself transported to another timeline. In this strange new reality, he met his older self face to face. The two men even filmed their interaction, showing matching tattoos and uncanny similarities. The footage, although heavily scrutinized, sent chills through viewers, with many believing it to be undeniable proof of time travel. Though skeptics dismissed it as a clever hoax, the eerie authenticity left others wondering if time can truly bend. If true, Alan's story is a chilling glimpse into the mysteries of time itself. Creepy footage. At a German airport, security footage captured a man behaving normally until he wasn't. 10 minutes after calmly checking in with his luggage, he was spotted sprinting wildly through the terminal, leaving everything behind. He disappeared without a trace, sparking theories that he might have been a time traveler escaping back to his era after glimpsing something terrifying. But the most disturbing thing that is said about this video is that he was running away from someone or something. Japan's mystery reality. For this, we have to time travel back to the peaceful 1950s. Tokyo's Hana Airport saw something so unbelievable that it still surprises them decades later. A man arrived with a passport from Tord, a nation that doesn't exist on any map. Everything about him seemed authentic. His documents, currency, and even his fluency in multiple languages. Authorities detained him in a hotel under guard to investigate further. By morning, he was gone. No one saw him leave, and his belongings had vanished along with him. Was he a time traveler lost in the wrong timeline? A visitor from a parallel dimension? Or something far stranger? Over 70 years later, his sudden disappearance is unsolved. What happens in France? In 1901, Charlotte Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, two English academics, had a strange experience in the gardens of Versailles. During their stroll, they claimed the world shifted around them. They saw people in 18th century clothing, an unfamiliar landscape, and even Marie Antoinette sketching by a palace. Later, they described the incident as a slip through time, convinced they had glimpsed pre-revolutionary France. Skeptics attributed their accounts to overactive imaginations or fatigue, but neither wavered in their belief. Could they have truly crossed the boundaries of time, or was it a paranormal echo of history? Their story continues to intrigue, sparking debates about whether time is as rigid as we assume. Victor Goddard. British pilot. Victor Goddard experienced something that defied explanation. In 1935, he was flying over an abandoned World War I airstrip in Scotland. He encountered a fierce storm that seemed to push him off course. Then, the storm abruptly lifted, and what he saw stunned him. The once abandoned airstrip was alive, gleaming new planes, bustling crew, and modern hangars. When he reported the event, no one believed him. But 4 years later, the airstrip was renovated to look exactly as he had described. His vivid encounter suggested he had glimpsed the future, raising questions about whether time is as linear as we perceive. Goddard's account remains one of the most compelling examples of a potential slip through time. Glitch in the Matrix. Traffic lights turned green, and cars began to move at a busy Russian intersection. Everything seemed normal until one of the cars collided with a vehicle that appeared to materialize out of thin air. The footage of this baffling moment went viral, and people couldn't stop talking about it. Was this a glitch in the Matrix? A secret government experiment? Or maybe even a time travel event caught on camera? While some chalked it up to a camera angle illusion, others weren't so sure. This eerie event continues to fuel debates, proving that sometimes reality feels like a glitchy simulation. Share your thoughts in the comments. Real-time traveler? A man named Rudolph Fentz appeared seemingly out of nowhere, wearing 19th century attire and looking utterly bewildered. This took place in New York in 1950, but tragically, he met with an accident soon after, and what investigators found on him only made it mysterious. A 5-cent beer token from a saloon long gone, a receipt for horse care dated 1876, and outdated currency. Even stranger, records showed Rudolph Fentz, the same man who vanished back in 1876. He has to be a real time traveler, right? This can't be real. At the 1928 premiere of The Circus by Charlie Chaplin, something utterly bizarre was captured on film. A man in the background seemed to be holding a modern-day cell phone, decades before such technology existed. The footage shows him walking casually while holding the mysterious device to his ear, as though making a call. Skeptics argue it was just a hearing aid or some other mundane object, but the shape and way he handled it felt unsettlingly familiar. Could this moment be a genuine slip in time? Caught on camera? Even now, the image stays in the minds of many, raising eerie possibilities about what people really saw that day. Mind too bright. Ettore Majorana, one of the brightest minds of the 20th century, vanished in 1938, leaving behind a legacy shrouded in mystery. Known for groundbreaking work on neutrinos, Majorana boarded a ferry in Naples and was never seen again. His cryptic farewell note hinted at a deliberate disappearance. Some say he was so disturbed by the potential misuse of his discoveries that he chose to disappear. Others speculate he found a way to access alternate dimensions, or even time travel to escape his own era. Darker theories suggest foul play, yet no conclusive evidence has ever surfaced. Futuristic fashion. A peculiar 1940s photograph shows a modern-looking man amid a sea of vintage-clad people during the Southport Bridge reopening in British Columbia. Sporting sunglasses and a casual outfit, he appeared entirely out of place. Some insist he was a time traveler caught on camera, while others believe his attire was simply ahead of its time. Though explanations vary, the photo's eerie existence is something to look into. Was this an actual time traveler, or could this be someone ahead of their time, with a more relaxed fashion sense? While some dismissed it as a coincidence, others still wonder if time travel had something to do with it. Strange mirror glitch.
But look at that, his face just moved, but the guy in the mirror seemed the same.
This chilling video revealed something haunting. The footage has a man that captured an eerie anomaly at a stoplight. While the car ahead appeared normal, its driver's reflection in his rearview mirror remained disturbingly motionless, unlike his own. The footage sparked speculation. Some called it clever editing. Others claimed it was evidence of a break in reality. The unsettling clip challenges perceptions of normalcy, offering a brief, haunting glimpse into the unknown, where the fabric of existence may not be as stable as it seems.
And his face is moving.
Spooky teleportation. A video of a chilling moment has been sending shivers down viewers' spines. It shows a woman walking along a quiet street when she suddenly stops, her hand reaching out as though to grab something invisible. Then, out of nowhere, a little girl appears beside her. The woman's calm demeanor only adds to the strangeness, as if this eerie encounter were nothing out of the ordinary. Some have suggested it could be clever editing or a hidden camera trick, but no one has been able to pin down an explanation. The unsettling calm of the woman has only deepened the mystery. The footage does show someone that is supernatural and is trying to help humanity, but his timing also makes him a possible time traveler. Brian Schaefer disappearance. On the 1st of April 2006, Brian Schaefer, a medical student at Ohio State University, was last seen entering the Ugly Tuna Saloon bar in Columbus, Ohio. Security camera footage later confirmed him walking into the building that night, but what makes the case so mysterious is that no clear footage or witness ever showed him leaving. After that evening, he completely disappeared, and despite extensive searches, investigations, and public attention, no confirmed trace of him has ever been found. Friends and family initially believed he might have left through another exit or with acquaintances, but no evidence has supported these theories. Over the years, the case has remained one of the most puzzling missing person mysteries in the United States. Transported Soldier Legend. The Transported Soldier is a well-known Mexican legend that is said to originate in 1593 and tells the strange story of a Spanish soldier who suddenly appeared in Mexico City after serving in the Philippines. According to the rumor, he was on guard duty at the governor's palace in Manila when he suddenly lost consciousness. When he awoke, he found himself thousands of miles away in Mexico, still wearing his uniform and completely disoriented. Authorities detained him while trying to understand his story, and rumors of impossible travel spread quickly. Over time, this account became one of the most famous early legends of unexplained long-distance transportation. Time mystery. A sealed Ming Dynasty tomb was hiding an object that didn't belong there. A Swiss ring watch was found by archaeologists. This artifact, found in a tomb sealed for over 400 years, shouldn't have existed, as Switzerland as we know it didn't even exist during that time. Some speculated it had been left behind by tomb raiders, but the tomb's untouched condition made that theory unlikely. Despite scientific analysis, no one could explain how such a modern object ended up in an ancient burial site. Is time travel real, or are there forces at work we can't yet comprehend? Caught on camera. A bizarre video has captivated the internet. It shows a woman unloading luggage from her car when, out of nowhere, a man on a scooter speeds past her, leaving behind a strange white streak, only to vanish into thin air. The footage quickly went viral, sparking a flood of wild theories. This is either a glitch in the Matrix or some clever editing. My 2 cents on this is that it could be a camera malfunction or a trick of the light, but I have been proven wrong before. So, whatever the truth is, the fact remains. This video exceeds the very limits of reality. What's your take? Was it a Matrix mishap? Or a time travel stunt? Sergei Ponomarenko is a name tied to one of the most unusual time travel stories, and it goes back to 2006, when Ponomarenko allegedly appeared in Kyiv, Ukraine, looking confused and like he didn't belong in this timeline. There were witnesses who said he wore decades-old clothes and carried an old camera. And the local authorities even approached him when he said he was from the year 1958 and didn't understand modern technology or his surroundings. Ponomarenko's camera was an outdated model no longer in use or production. The authorities developed the film inside, photos reportedly showing clear images of Kyiv in the 1950s, including landmarks and people dressed in period clothing. One of the photos even showed Ponomarenko standing beside cars and objects from that era. Authorities, thinking Ponomarenko might be mentally unwell, sent him to a psychiatric hospital for observation. However, the story takes a strange turn. Reports claim he vanished from the hospital without explanation. There are no official records of his existence, and most of the evidence comes from unverifiable sources online. So who was he, and did he go back to the 1950s? Subscribers pick. On the 5th of May 2012, dashcam footage from a road in Russia captured a man in a long lab coat and black boots appearing out of thin air directly in the path of a lorry. The driver swerved dramatically in an attempt to save him before pulling over. The man walked slowly from the middle of the road to the edge without looking where he was going, dazed and entirely out of place. The footage has been widely cited as potential evidence that Russia had successfully developed teleportation technology, and its resurfacing years after it was recorded only deepened speculation that has never been officially addressed.